Oh, welcome to the Random Files. Here we got like what 10 people in right now. Awesome, cool. We we were just up here recording. We were recording with James Bartley. I was on his show, and we were just talking about all kinds of stuff. And he had never heard my encounter from when I was 15, so I told it on his show. And so if you're joining us from the Paranormal Roundtable, whatever, we're actually this is a test run right now, but we're here, so we'll be in the studio. We decided we were going to just do maybe 20, 30 minutes, whatever. And the test was Anthony needed to what is the music? Yeah,
Yeah, that and some of the on-screen stuff. I have to figure out how to make some changes to it so we can make it work for the random files.
yeah. So we were talking with James Bartley, one of my favorite people in the field. I had never done his show before. What's it called? The Cosmic Switchboard.
hmm
So yeah, so I had never been on his show, so we just decided to, So after we did the live for the members only, we went and we did our jobs, and then we came back to the studio to record. And so here we are, like 3 hours after, I think it was a little over 2 hours of material with James. And so, yeah, and I'm going to get him on the show and have him talk about his stuff, on the show, because he's had a lot of weird things happen to him recently. He had something happen to him where he got attacked by a spirit, an evil spirit. Well, he was asleep on his couch, and he was telling me about it. But yeah, we're going to get him back on the show, and we got to get him so we can put it on the podcast, because the pod people will never know about Random Pulse. You know why? Because it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
They'd be like, I don't travel interdimensionally. I'm very comfortable where I'm at in life. I just want to be in my pod. I hear things, but I don't want to see them. It's like being in a submarine. I hear the whales out there in the deep, but I don't want to see them. If I have to look upon them, it just does something to me. It kills my vibe. I don't want to look at them.
There's something about them.
There's something about them.
Don't trust it.
Something around the eyes. Nope, I hate them. That's it. And so we were just up here, and I was like, you know what? If people want to join on, I'll riff a little bit here if you want to. But we really wanted to get this. Anthony wanted to put the song on there, so if you heard it, that's going to be the theme song to the Random Files. And I thought it would be cool because you get to see this channel being built from the ground up. So why do it in the dark, right? And it is a very new channel. I mean, it's been around for about a year, but we haven't done anything with it. So we're doing something with it now, and so it's going to become something very, very potent. Hopefully, pretty soon. The first episode. I mean, there were other episodes, but they just little stuff here and there. Nothing. But the first real episode just dropped. Night before last?
Yeah.
And I think it's already got like 1,800 views or something.
It's off to a strong start.
Yeah. So tonight we played the music. If you guys did y'all hear the music? Did you hear it? I don't think everybody here heard it. Here's
Some people are just coming in.
Yeah, we'll play a little bit of her. What do you think? Does that beat go hard?
That beat goes al dente.
Yeah, it's so hard. Call me Al Dente. Yeah, it's good. No, I like it. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a nice deal, for the show. And what I had said, what I wanted to do tonight, but I ended up having to go and do some work and then come back. Or otherwise, I would have been on earlier. We were going to do an episode about the Marine, Brian McGinnis. Everybody wanted to know what is that? What was he doing? Why would he go before Congress and say these horrible things? What's wrong with that guy? What's wrong with the guy is that he witnessed people being killed, murdered because they wanted food and water. And so he went before Congress and said, hey, we shouldn't send our people to go and fight and die for this foreign country. This is not our war. This is their war. And I saw firsthand what they did. Some people were like, well, he's a Palestinian because they saw him wearing whatever. No, he was standing in solidarity with them. His name's Brian McGinnis. Right? He's a white guy. But he doesn't think that we should be going over there and fighting and dying for Israel. And I think that it's very important that we stop and start looking at this lunatic situation, because people who are saying, hey, this isn't a good thing, their voices are being completely drowned out by idiots that are saying that we should be over there creating chaos. I got to say something. It was something that came up while I was being interviewed by James Bartley. And James makes no bones about it. He led into the conversation about the Zionist Christians and how they slavishly support this. But he said that these people, what they're doing is basically committing a form of sacrifice. It's blood sacrifice is what it is. And it's leading us down this road. And this is how it ties into PRT and everything else, is that people are not understanding what this is, the struggle between light and dark, and that there is an evil force that is taking hold, and that it is literally consuming us and our children. We are giving our blood to this thing. These beings, they're feasting on us, and these are not even people. People have said this before throughout history, and they were villainized for it. Oh, they said that they're not even people. Yeah, because people are seeing them shapeshift into weird things. You know, I think maybe if you're, turning into a lizard, maybe you're not a people. It's just my opinion. If you're eating other people, it's like, well, they're cannibals. Are they? Are they really? Are they cannibals? Because to be a cannibal, you have to eat your own kind. We're not we're not even the same kind. Because I think some of these beings, they're not even people. I don't. That's why they have such an easy time killing us and enslaving us. So this guy, this Marine, if you haven't seen the footage, he goes in there and he says we should not be going and dying for Israel. And what I uncovered was pretty jacked up. So what happened was Brian McGinnis was part of a Marine unit that was assigned when they dropped off the food to the Palestinians. There was food and water because they were suffering in Gaza. And so when the food and water was delivered, some of it by Americans, some of it by other, the UN, whatever, the Israelis were sitting back and capping these people. Yeah, that's what Brian was trying to say. So the people would rush in when the food was dropped off, the food and water was dropped off, because these people have nothing. They've been completely destroyed in their own country, their own land. That's a sad thing. Whether you like Islam or Christianity or whatever, I'm not a fan of Islam. I'm not. I make no bones about it. That's not one of my favorite religions. But I could say this: I don't care what religion you are. I don't think it's right. And they always try to hide behind, we are the bulwark behind to stop Islam. Really? I don't believe you. Because if you were, containing that religion in that region would have been paramount, right? But you didn't contain it. You spread it all over the damn place by going in and destroying everything and creating refugees, right? I mean, that's what they did, right?
They're all over Western countries now.
All over. The enemy without was let in by the enemy within. So Brian McGinnis talks about this. He says that he witnessed them, and he was trying to say this, and he got attacked by a congressman, right? Was it a congressman?
It was a senator.
Senator, sorry, yeah. He gets attacked, full on attacked, and then they break his hand in the door because he was telling them what he felt like was the truth. And apparently he's running. He's running for office. And he, so what they essentially did was they dropped off the food and water, and when the Palestinian people would run in to try to get it, they were shooting them in the back of the head. And McGinnis witnessed this. So he was trying to testify. And when he said what everybody should be saying and what everybody should be thinking is that this is lunacy, that we're supporting this bloodthirsty country, because it's not enough for them to, take us and do whatever they do here. But then we have to go and fight and die, killing the Iranians, who are Semitic peoples, by the way. That's a funny term. They love to use that. I'm not anti-Semitic. If I was anti-Semitic, I would hate Turkish people, Kurdish people, Arab people, Bedouins. I would hate Berbers. I would hate Persians. I would hate Phoenicians. I would hate every type of. There's a ton of different of those people. And the Levant is full of different types of Semitic people. Oh, you're anti-Semitic. They love that term. Because if you don't agree with the ethno-state of Israel and their barbarity, then you are somehow some kind of evil, whatever. You are literally Satan. You're Hitler. You're whatever. And what's funny about that is that Jesus tells us, and I've said this before, your father is not our father. Two different fathers. Well, who you call God, Jesus doesn't call him Father. He doesn't call that God. So what in the hell what are you doing? And you're shooting women and children. Go look at some of the videos that these IDF soldiers make, and how they make fun of the people. They make these funny videos how they bash in these with women's teeth, and they're missing their teeth, and they have black eyes.
They put it all over their social media,
and they make fun of it. They think it's funny. Nobody's going to tell you anything, right? Nobody's going to say anything. Nobody's going to call you out. You can just run amok. You can do whatever you want. So we are literally attacking Semites. Does that make us anti-Semitic? Because we're attacking the Iranians who are Semitic. You're anti-Semitic because you attack them. In the true sense of the word. And I see people who I thought had better sense too. They're like, well, I just want to support our troops. I see a bunch of that. I'm like, really? Because your troops are being told that they're doing this for God. So go get a gun and go kill an Iranian for God. Huh? That's what we're doing now. I don't think that's correct. I don't think that we should be doing that. But yeah, that's the story behind McGinnis. And there was an idiot that was on my Facebook, and I'll tell you, I'll read his comments. There's not the brightest. I think the guy used to watch my show, but he probably dropped off when things got too real. And then the show I did on PRT the other night, somebody was like, "Oh, this really disappointed me. I thought you were a reasonable thinking person." But because I said that we should be believing in Christ, I guess I'm not a reasonable thinking man, according to them.
It burns those demons on them when you call out that they're worshiping Rimpan.
Yeah, they can't stand it. They just get so mad. So let's see if we can find it here. Here it is. And I'm not going to say the guy's name. That would be really bad. But when the guy when McGinnis broke his hand or whatever, the guy says he got his arm wedged on the door. He felt the need to tell us that. Right, this guy on my Facebook. He says this is what he says about Brian McGinnis. This is the kind of rhetoric that is just so ridiculous. He says, "Did the idiot not realize the shores of Tripoli?" Because when McGinnis was being taken down the hallway, he says, "From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli." Right, that's the Marine Corps, anthem, the song. Right, we will fight our country's battles. Blah blah blah. Okay. It says here, did he not realize the shores of Tripoli is a reference to the USA stopping Muslim Barbary pirates that used to kidnap Europeans and Americans and enslave them, put them in harems and steal goods? Ironic. Oh, you're such a smart guy. Let me inform you something here, Lil Rye. Okay, I call you Lil Rye. Lil Rye Rye. Let me say something to you. Do you know who bought those slaves? Predominantly, they were Sephardic Jews. Yeah. So that is overwhelmingly who trafficked them from these Barbary pirates to the New World. Yeah. And here's the thing. When I talk about Islam, I can tell you this. Do you know who created it? It was created by rabbinical. Yeah. They created it. And they used Muhammad. Interesting, too, that whole region was to be destabilized to keep them fighting with the Christians. So they brought everyone together and used them as a bulwark against Christianity because they wanted to destroy Christianity because they hated Jesus. The Coptic Christian Church in Egypt was founded in 61 AD. This is before Josephus, Titus, and all of this other stuff. Do you know what that is? In 70 AD? What happened in 70 AD? Do you know? The Second Temple was destroyed by Titus, the Roman general. He fought a war and he razed Jerusalem to the ground. And they were all pretty much the diaspora, they were scattered. And this was to me, repercussions of murdering Christ. And so they got their payback in 600 AD when they brought Islam onto the stage and used it as a hammer against Christianity. They did this. And so that's why Islam is a mirror of Judaism. It's basically two heads of the same coin. Do you know one of the principal groups of people that pushed Islam were the Moors, right? Do you know who they were? Do you know where their main base was? The former Carthaginian Empire in North Africa. Do you know who they were? They were the Phoenicians. Do you know who they worshipped? Baal, Moloch. They gave their children. One of the reasons that the Romans wanted to destroy the Carthaginians so bad, they used this excuse over and over again, and it was a good one. In fact, Scipio Africanus, the one that defeated in the plains of Zama, he defeated Hannibal. He said, "We do this for the children." You know what he meant by that? Because the Carthaginians sacrificed children. They had a massive scale, like operation going. When they would fight their enemies, they would take the children of their enemies and take them and serve them up. Yeah. And the Romans used that. They said, "Look, man, these people are bad people, dude." The Carthaginians were really just in the way to Roman hegemony. But it was a good excuse. Years later, the Temple of Set did the same thing. And the catacombs of Egypt and Alexandria. And Julius Caesar and then his protege, Mark Antony, both used that as a, hey, these people, they're basically the Carthaginians all over again. Here they are in the catacombs sacrificing people and children and whatever. We got to root them out. We got to destroy them. Because for the Romans, for all of their flaws, they didn't commit child sacrifice and they didn't drink children's blood, but their enemies did. And they were able to exploit that and use that to deadly effect, getting everyone ready to go to war because these people are murderers of children, pagan as they were. And so this was what was going on in Egypt. Could it be that the remnants of that civilization that was destroyed way before Christ, the Carthaginians, that civilization went on and went underground and became the Temple of Set, which transformed into what we have now, the modern day synagogue, right? The demagogue synagogue, Yeah. And Law Morgan, yes, it does. And guitars and ghosts, yes. Pleasant surprise. Just woke up. Hey, everyone. Hey, Cleopatra. Yeah. The rabbis say Islam is the broom of the day. They use it to sweep away the Christians. Do you know that in Palestine at one time, the 48% of the Palestinians were Christian? You know how much they are now? Between 12 and 16% estimated. They managed to do that in 2 decades. Not even 2, about 15 years. They genocided the bloody hell out of us Christians. Well, you might say, why does that matter? It matters because I am a Christian. I'm a follower of Christ, and I don't like my people being killed. Right? I like my people like I like my pets, alive. How about that? Call me kooky. I'm not a big fan of death or death cults, which is what this is. And it's just a continuation of death cults, and it just keeps going. And now we have it now in the e-files, the same thing. Eating our children, drinking their blood, sacrificing them to Moloch. The same thing the Carthaginians were doing, the same thing the Temple of Set was doing, and the Romans stopped them over and over again. And then you have Bibi going, we're fighting Rome. You've been fighting Rome for centuries, for millennium. They're fighting for the right. You got to fight for the right to eat taller. That's what you're doing, right? Fighting for the right. Anyways, I just thought I'd bring that to your attention about Brian McGinnis. I'm going to run. I got we'll be here for another 5 minutes and I got to bounce, but just giving you that little quip there because I don't know, would you call it a quib? What would you call it? A nugget? Piece of information? Just that I'd disseminate that because there's a lot of confusion. People are very confused and they want to know the truth. And we are going to be moving this to the real Random Files, which is going to be on Rumble because, I don't want to piss off the powers that be too much and YouTube will probably take it down because they don't, you're just saying things that are true. Right? It's too real. It's too real. This is the mental. PRT is the spiritual. And of course, we have tomorrow night. What do we have tomorrow night, Anthony?
Tomorrow night we have a pre-recorded podcast episode with Sage Cooley.
Yep. And then on Saturday, what do we have Saturday? That's on PRT. Saturday, what do we have Saturday?
True Crime Paranormal. It's the third episode of the Chris Watts case.
True Crime Paranormal is the physical. You have people who do bad things. Why do they do these bad things? Because our world is overrun by disembodied demonic Nephilim. That's why. And they go around unaliving people. Why do we say unaliving on this show? We've already said all kinds of things. They're freaking killers. They murder people. That's what they do. Kind of like people that run everything, right? Them and their puppets. And so I feel like it's my sacred duty to tell you these things, because who the hell is going to tell you these things? And I'm like a voice in the night. I'm saying, hey, because there are other people who have platforms that are bigger than mine, but they aren't going to do this. They're not going to do this. They're going to interview people and just sit there and go and look concerned, and they're not going to do anything. They're not going to say anything. And there's a ton of them. You know why? Because they don't want to catch the hell that I'm willing to catch. They don't want to catch the hell that people like the bigger, big time people like Tucker and Candace, boy, they're getting attacked hardcore, aren't they? If you go into their comment section, there's always some idiots in there. What's wrong with you, Tucker? I used to like you. And now you're just going to say the bad thing about my people that I love, because God's the people. That's who these people are. That's who they have the retardation. And I don't mean like a kid that's mentally handicapped. I'm talking about they have a literal infestation, parasite in their brain that has pissed and shit in their brain and made them believe these Looney Tune things. All these different things that Candace has been talking about, these conspiracies and all this, it's all real. I've been saying for 30 years, and now they're saying it, and it's like they're horrible people. I used to like you when you spouted off what the fuck news said, but fuck news now is not going, no. That's how damn stupid you sound. Look at this guy. This guy's so stupid. Here's one of them right here. He's a damn tool. So here it is. Josh Turner, so you're an anti-Semite libtard shocker. What was done in Iran was necessary for the USA. Wow, dude. I got these cheeseburgers, man. I suck your beep, man. Come on, man. Come on, fuck news. Give me another hit. It says what was done in Iran was necessary for the USA. Not just Israel and the rest of the Middle East. Long overdue and wouldn't have been necessary if Obama hadn't given Iran $2 billion U.S. taxpayer dollars. Even Iranians are happy over this. Or do you only watch MSNBC and CNN, Fox News? Fox News. Huh? Well, Ryan's privates, what I got to say is this, okay? Yeah, you have made the show. You actually are on here. We're talking about you and your dumbass. But you are one pimple on an ass, right? You're on one pimple on BB's ass. And I'll say this for you. You call me a libtard. I am the furthest thing from a leftist communist that you could possibly be. I'm more right than you are, you person. More right than you could ever hope to be. I'm super extreme conservative guy. Who are you? Oh, wait, you're the other guy. Right? You're the uninformed lunatic wagging your tongue, right? Why do you think that Obama gave them $2 billion? Have you ever stopped to wonder about that? I'm going to explain that to you on the next episode, what I know and how they play the long game and how each administration is just Lego building blocks, building up piles of crap that we have to sift through. And you are so uninformed that you actually didn't even know who Brian McGinnis was, and you called him an idiot. This guy actually was a Marine. He was a Marine. You can see right here. Here's the video right here. There he is right there. See what they're doing to this guy? They broke his arm. I just say this. You got to wake up, folks. You got to wake up. We're asleep. We've been asleep way too long. Stop with this rhetoric. The right is now starting to piss me off as bad as the left. I don't consider you a part of anything that I'm doing. I don't. If you were that stupid that you don't even see your own survival as hanging in the balance. When you say that Israel has our best interest, like you really believe this shit. Okay, if you were to catch a fly and throw it into a spider's web, that spider has as much interest in that welfare of that fly as they do in ours. The spider's like, oh, poor little guy. I was going to eat you, but you know what? I want to take you and take care of you. We're going to be best friends. I'm going to come on. Let me take you under my bosom. You see a spider, a cute little spider, walking around your house with a fly baby. He's just hanging out with a little fly baby. Here's a picture for you. Moloch with the star of Remphan right on his forehead. He's got a baby wrapped in the American flag, and the baby suckling at his hermaphroditic breast. And while that's happening, a little American baby with the caption, "The Mines of America." That baby is the mines of America. Moloch is holding up another baby and he's devouring it. And then that baby is the soul and the body of America. Think about that. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. We will be on tomorrow night. I will not be on live, but we will have a pre-record on PRT. That's Paranormal Roundtable. Go check it out. Go check it out. And yeah, pray for me because there's a lot of ridiculous, stupid, ignorant people out there who are not noticing what is happening. I hate to say it, but you know, the one thing I thought that I hated more than anything in the world was a leftist person who actually loved this murderous little rampaging country. But now you have people on the right who are giving them a run for their money. And not only are they just as right, but they're stupid as all hell. You think you know more than a Marine that literally witnessed them shooting people. Yeah, okay. Well, when you serve and you go over there and you deal with it, then you can have some kind of talk, whatever. Until then, why don't you sit down at the kids' table and shut up? Nothing more annoying at Thanksgiving than the kids' table. It's always existed as long as I've been alive. There's always been a kids' table. I never sat at it because I was never there. But it's annoying as hell. It's loud, rambunctious, full of germs and shit everywhere. And those children actually are precious because they're children. You are a freaking grown ass adult man who belongs at the kids' table, but you're too big and too old. Like what's his shithead name? Billy Madison or whatever. That's you, Billy Madison. Shut up. That's you. That's you right there. All right, Billy. All right. You go on my Facebook. Go look. Go take a look at this idiot. Go over there. Go to my Facebook, folks, and let's tell him what you think. If you agree with him, you agree with him. That's fine. But at least do the math. This guy hasn't done 2 + 2. He doesn't watch the show. He's full of shit because if he did, he'd know I'm no liberal. I'm no Marxist socialist dickhead. So you can't lie to me and tell me you watch the show, Private Ryan. Okay, you don't. Shut your mouth. But we do need people like that so that you can like they perform like this. It's like a perfunctory role to be the jester, to be the tard. What in Tard Nation? That's what in Tard Nation. There it is, right there. Whoop, there it is. That's what he does. You're the court jester, right? Thank you for making us laugh. Now you can go to the principal's office while the rest of us continue class. Okay, guys, I got to run. All right. It's been fun. I'll see you. We have the new song. We're going to play it and we're going to get out of here. And then we'll be back with Random Files. I might go live tomorrow night. Probably will on here. right? But no live on PRT. You're just going to be, yeah. Okay, you know the thing. All right, I'll see you.